Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We are located in Fredrick, Colorado. My name is Larry Vickers. In the past few videos, we've primarily focused on the advantages of Freightliner over pickups, and most of it's been on the new side. Well, today we're going to take that same thought process and expand it a little bit and talk about the advantages to Freightliner over pickups on the used side of things. Right now we're sitting inside a 2020 Freightliner M2 106 with the Summit hauler conversion. This truck has 58,000 miles on it. So let's compare that to a pickup, okay? As everyone knows, you drive a brand new pickup off the lot, you automatically lose 20%. That's just a given. Everyone knows that. Well, let's take this scenario but apply it to a pickup. So we go and we buy a brand new Ram 3500 dually. Okay, we drive it off the lot, bam, we're down 20%. Okay, so we're gonna drive it, we get it to 58,000 miles, such as this truck, and we get ready to trade it in because it's simply not doing what it needs to in terms of stability, safety, things like that when we're towing a heavy load. So we go back to the dealership and we try trading that in. Well, it has 58,000 miles on it, and as we've already discussed, max life on a pickup is 250 to 300,000 miles right in there. So if you look at it as a percentage basis, 58,000 miles on a 300,000 mile truck, that decreases that value even more. And then we realize it's got 58,000 miles on it. The dealer says, I gotta put new tires on that. There's another 2,500 bucks. That lowers it even more. So by the time it's all said and done, when you trade that pickup back in, you will be lucky to recoup 2/3 of your money, maybe. Let's compare that to this Freightliner. This is a 2020 with 58,000 miles on. When the time came for this gentleman to sell it back to us, and the reason he did sell it back, it wasn't because of the truck. He actually purchased some land back east that he had been waiting on and needed more capital to do it. That's the only reason he sold it back to us. But how much of an effect do you think 58,000 miles on a 750,000 mile truck has? Not much. Okay, so you compare that 750,000 miles longevity to 300,000 miles longevity, the percentage of 58,000 miles, that's extreme. So in terms of resale value, the huge advantage falls to Freightliner. And another reason you should purchase a Freightliner over GMC, Ram, things like that, when you really get to comparing the economics to it. So now we have the economics out of the way. Let's just talk about the trucks. All right, one of the big things is safety, and we're going to go over several of the advantages that Freightliner has. Now, one big one, if we could take a shot directly out front, is visibility. Okay, just take a second and take a look. All right, assume that we're driving a pickup right now. We would be substantially lower. We would be looking at the pickup right in front of us, or the Ford Explorer, or something like that. You can't see. Well, we're elevated. All right, so we're above that, literally above it, so you can see things coming at you. Now, as we take a look at the glass, that's a big windshield. Compare that to a pickup truck. What has more visibility? What has more practicality? It falls here. That's 2,500 square inches of glass. So we're above traffic, so we can see what's coming in front of us. And with this amount of windshield, we can see things coming from this side and this side as well. Now, as we take a look at the dash, this is a wraparound dash, okay? See how it's not flat? So when we're driving, if we need to make an adjustment, it's simply right here. We're not stretching, we're not looking anything like that. Everything is just right here. Another big advantage is this engine brake. See, if we turn that to high, this isn't an exhaust brake like I said, that's in the pickup, that just limits the exhaust some and consequently slows you down a little bit. That's a true engine brake. So if we're coming down a decline, we have 350 horses coming back at us. Consequently, that makes things so much safer for you and your family. In addition to that, the other drivers on the road as well. Cruise control is right here. This is an additional option button, so if you want to hook up other things, you have a way to do that. As we take a look, this is an automatic transmission. Right now, we're in neutral with the brake on. When you're ready to go, release the brake, R for reverse, D for drive, and we're on our way. This mode button actually turns it into a manual transmission. So these two arrows are for the gears. Some people use that, prefer that when they're going through the mountains. Furthermore, if you push these two arrows at the same time, it will let you know what's going on under the hood. All right, there's oil life. We just had the oils changed. Filters, it says good. Transmission health is good. And there's no codes. So that can tell you kind of what's going on, so you can keep up with things in terms of maintenance schedules, things of that nature. The trailer brake is located right here. Mirror heaters here. This is the regen button. Chances are you're never going to have to use that, because predominantly the people that buy these go, border to border, coast to coast, long distance traveling. That regen will clear itself out. But people that live in big cities, a lot of stop and go, short trips, might have to regen their truck on rare occasions. This locks the differential. This is the dump valve, so that lets the air out of the bed of the truck. So if you push that, utilize your backup camera, makes hooking up your trailer very simple. Intermittent marker lights located here. This is rear air conditioning, so that blows cold or hot air to the back of the cab. If your trailer requires air, this is already lined and ready to go. All we need to do is install your glad hands and you're ready. Climate control located right here. Cup holders here. And inside here is the console. So let's jump on out and take a look from the outside. So as we take a look from the side view, we can see some more of those advantages that we talked about in terms of the Freightliner over pickups. Simply the size and the mass of it is an advantage. If we are in an incident where we are in a wreck, our chances of walking away are substantially higher in a Freightliner compared that to a pickup. In addition to that, another big safety advantage is the brakes. This has air brakes. Compare that to the traditional hydraulic brakes that's in a pickup. If there is a small leak in both of them, if you have a small leak in an airline, obviously there's an unlimited supply of air. You can keep replenishing that until we get a chance to get that fixed. Hydraulic, it will continue to leak out until you get that line replaced and refilled, or worst case scenario, we go to hit those brakes and there is simply nothing there. As you can tell, this is a 2020, it is our old body style conversion. There are advantages to that and some people prefer it. As you can see, it comes with 3 storage boxes. There's a smaller one in the back and there are 2 up front. If you open that one and this one, let's see, there's nothing connecting them. So it's a larger one that's kind of broken into 2 compartments. It is equipped for air for the hitch. If you put a Hensley, something like that in it, right there is where you can make those adjustments. The batteries are located here underneath the back seat. This is the DEF tank that holds up to 6 gallons. Data is proving that it's 350 miles per 1 gallon of DEF. Beside that is one of 2 50-gallon fuel tanks, the other one on the opposite side. As the truck is sitting in rest, like it is now, the fuel balances itself out. But when you go to fuel up your truck, you're going to want to do that independently. This is a trickle charger. So at night, if you want to run some things, get close to a 110 outlet, simply plug that in. That will assist the batteries in maintaining power. Block heater located here. If you are in a cold climate, you can simply plug that truck in right there. As we look at it from the truck, since it is used, the previous owner did put some aftermarket things on it, and we're going to go over them. And we can already see one. The light bar located down low was put on. Right beside that is tow hooks. We see a bumper that is actually broken into 3 sections. So if we dig part of it up, we can simply replace that section without having to do the entire bumper. As we come on up, we find an aftermarket grille that is unique to the Summit Hauler conversion. As we go on up and take a look at the hood, we talk about durability, and the hood is an example of that, and an example of it being an advantage over a pickup. That is made of compressed fiberglass. Compare that to pickup trucks. We had a huge hailstorm come through, about a year ago now, that demolished the pickups. But by taking a look at the hood of the Freightliners, we really couldn't tell anything had happened. As we take a look at the windshield, that confirms what we talked about on the inside in terms of the amount of glasses there, and consequently contributing to the high amount of visibility. And as we go on up, we find a row of orange lights to assist the truck in lighting itself up at night. Underneath the hood, that is the Cummins 8.9 liter engine. It is coupled with the Allison 3200 TRV transmission. This offers 360 horsepower and roughly 1,100 foot-pounds of torque. So now is the perfect time to talk about service as we kind of take a look at what else is under the hood. Let's compare a Freightliner elite dealership such as Transwest to a GMC service department. And an express service such as this, or an elite service such as this, they bring you in, they go over what's going on, and communication is key. They walk you through the entire process, give you an idea of what is wrong, roughly what it's going to cost, how long it's going to take, constant communication. We have drivers that'll take you wherever you need to go. If you have to stay overnight, take you to hotels, that kind of thing. Well, compare that to GMC. You go in for your oil change, behind the car in front of you, they stick you in their lounge, and hopefully in 2 or 3 hours, you may know when your vehicle's going to be done. So just the customer service level, if you compare the two, really isn't much of a comparison. As we look under the hood, we see how things are kind of color coordinated. So where we see red, that's going to let us know that if something goes wrong in there, we're going to leave that for the Freightliner mechanics. As we come closer and take a look at the tires, those are Toyo's 255 ADR 22.5. A unique thing about the Summit Hauler conversion is right there. Those are tire balancers. So those have BBs and a little bit of hydraulic oil in them. So as you pick up speed and as you gain momentum, that balances the entire rotating mass. Consequently, things are safer since everything is balanced. It provides a more comfortable ride. In addition to that, it will extend tire life up to 40%. This truck is stock number 5U240089. As we take a look at the driver's seat, both driver and passenger seat are air ride. Those adjustments made right here. They are heated and vented. This is for the lumbar system, so that lets air in and out of the back of the seat. Below the steering wheel, we find a small pedal that is to adjust the steering wheel while sitting in the driver's seat. In addition to that, it comes with a kill switch located right there. So why is that in there? What's the purpose of that? Well, this truck isn't going to be a daily driver for most people. You know, we're going to use it to tow RVs, horse trailers, things like that, and not use it every day. So by implementing a kill switch, you can shut that off. So if it's going to be a month, maybe two, before this is started up and fired up again, it's really going to prevent any type of damage to the batteries. Consequently, that will extend battery life. As we take a look at the back seat, it makes down into a bed simply by pushing in a button. So what advantages does that bring us? Well, as we talked about, this truck will primarily be used to go on super long trips. So say you prefer driving at night because in summertime it's cooler. In addition to that, there's less traffic. So we drive all night to get to our destination. Well, by having that in there, say it's 10, 11, 12 o'clock the next day, simply push that down, make it into a little bed, jump in there and take a nap for a couple hours, and you're ready to go again. I told you this had aftermarket stuff put on. Here's a big one. This guy did an amazing job. This is an auxiliary fuel tank right here. Get a shot of that. And right here is an additional storage box. Now, as you can see, the old body style had lining along the outsides. Now, as we take a look directly from the rear, located right in the center up top is the backup camera. We come on down, we see the Summit Hauler badge located there. This gives us another view and another shot of that additional storage box. I did tell you that it is equipped for a Hensley hitch. We can have that installed. So that is a hitch that is on airbags. So when you're in your travels, that trailer is basically riding on air. Consequently, should prolong the life of the trailer. In addition to that, it's easier for the truck as well. This is for the Voyager system. That's the same system that the backup camera uses. If you're in need of more cameras, simply hook them up right there. Beside that is where we hook up the lights for either a gooseneck or fifth wheel trailer. As we pan on down, under this plate is the hitch for a bumper pull. As we come on around, we'll continue to talk about advantages that the Freightliner has over the pickup trucks. We've already talked about several from economic standpoint to a safety standpoint. We've covered most of that. So let's talk about comfort for a little bit. You know, say we're loaded up, we're going to a horse show on the other side of the country, and we're in a pickup. How much room is there? How much space do you have? How much head clearance is there? Well, we all know the answer to that is not very much. So let's take a look inside the Freightliner and see what it has in comparison to a pickup. and I'll jump on in. Okay, so if we're in California, we're going to New York for a horse show. This is how I'm sitting. I have plenty of room here, and this seat is actually all the way back. If I come to the middle, well, I got tons of room there, tons of room here, and the head clearance is very, very good. So comfort, that coupled with the high quality seats that the Summit Hauler conversion puts in, that trip's gonna feel basically like nothing. It's gonna be very comfortable for you to handle. So let's re-review. This is a 2020 Freightliner M2 106 with the Summit Hauler conversion. It has 58,000 miles. So let's also review the advantages real quick to Freightliner over pickups. 1 is economical, 2 is safety, and finally comfort. If you have any other questions, please reach out to me at 303-684-3404. Email me at larry.vickers@transwest.com, or for more information, simply click on the link below. Thanks for tuning in today.